Tonight on Up to Speed with Trip Simpson, DJ Akademiks accused of grape and defamation. Black father assaults father of kid who bullied his son. A riot erupts during a Howard University nursing graduation ceremony. And last but not least, is black subculture the real problem with black society? All that and more on this edition of Up to Speed with Trip Simpson, episode number 60. We'll be right back.
I'd rather get it out the mud than get it for free. I'd rather settle it up front than run and retreat. I son these niggas just for fun, no need for caprice. And if you tell me that I'm done, you must think I'm deceased. With every breath I take, I'm taking it further. Fuck the word a couple times and deserter. Killing niggas off with every word, I'm talking first degree murder. Just sit back, relax, be the observer. See niggas really want me out of line, I'm seeing the signs. Every time I speak what's on my mind, I'm reaching divine. No, I need my mental realign, so I'm taking my time. But I can't let these people just define what they don't understand. I'm a real nigga, it's deep in my veins. And if you cut me open right now, you'd understand the reason I speak with the pain. I know a lot of people seek my defeat and it's strange, cause they gon' be the real reason I peak with the fame. All these opinions from people who never made it, I truly would rather speak with the greatest. I'm talking Drake, Cole, and Lil Wayne. Man, I know I ain't famous, but I'ma make them seek me out when they play this. The name is King Art, reppin' that Southeast. Niggas always doubt me, but I keep it real. Other niggas hella mouthy. Pillow talking niggas always saying shit about me. Every time we bring it up, the conversation get cloudy, so I learn to move different. I never ask for permission, only forgiveness from the people who would choose to listen. A lot of niggas turn they back, I guess they mood switching. I tried to hold it all in, but man, it's too tempting. Listen, we don't compare, I thought you knew different. I thought you knew better than this, I guess you fools slipping. See, jealousy gon' take control and have you tomb digging. And we gon' leave you in that bowl like the spoon missing.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live back at you for another edition of Up to Speed with Trip Simpson. We are now on episode number 61. Let's get it. Now, of course, before we get this live stream going tonight, you know, first and foremost, we got to handle business. Let's get it.
Family moving up in the business. I know you're going to look after family.
What family you talking about, Ice?
Fuck, I look invisible, nigga.
That's right, I am not invisible. So do me a favor. If you're watching live on YouTube, hit that like button. If you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button, tap that notification bell, and select all. If you are watching live on Twitter, hit that heart button. Also, help us out in the algorithm. Hit that retweet button. Hit that retweet button. Let's get it. If you're watching live on Facebook, hit that like button, hit that share button. And no matter what platform you're on, don't forget to comment in the live chat below. Also, do not forget, at the conclusion of this conversation, we will attempt to take calls. If you're on Twitter, the link to call in is in the title. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, the link to call in is in the description of this video. Okay. Now, I got a lot I want to talk about tonight. And it's going to be a bit of a serious conversation, but you know what? I want to try to get all this in one show. Hopefully we can get this done in an hour, take some calls and get up out of here. But I think we need to have a very serious conversation about the culture tonight. But before we get into that, I want to get on this first topic of the night, which is going to be the DJ Akademiks lawsuit. And let me just say this off bucks. Let me say this. This is another attempted money grab of a prominent male in the entertainment industry that has no merit. There's no merit, in my opinion, towards any of these allegations. Now, this case was investigated by the police 2 years ago, happened in 2022, and since then it has gone absolutely nowhere. Akademiks and his friends were cleared of all any wrongdoing. And this is based on evidence from his home surveillance footage. Now, it's clear he had nothing to do with whatever incident took place. But anyways, what I want to do first is I want to get into the article so I can give you guys some context as to what exactly is going on. So without wasting any more time, let's get to that. All right, where the hell is it? All right, boom, here we go. All right, so DJ Akademiks sued for sexual assault. I gotta say it like that because YouTube will flag me. And defamation in new lawsuit. DJ Akademiks faces blank assault and defamation. According to documents obtained by XXL magazine on Tuesday, May 14th, DJ Akademiks, born Livingston Allen, is being sued by, I can't even pronounce his name, Fayuzia Zaya Abashi, who filed a rape and defamation lawsuit against Ak on Monday, May 13th. In her 30-page lawsuit, Abashi alleges that on July 16, 2022, Ak contacted her and invited her to his house in New Jersey. While at Ak's home, he and his two accomplices, identified as John Doe's 1 and John Doe's 2, would drug and grape her. On the morning after the incident, Abashi was unaware of what happened and only became aware after Akademiks showed her surveillance footage of her being SA'd by John Doe 1 and John Doe 2 on his pool deck. Abashi states in her suit that she reported the incident to the police and rape kit was formed, which revealed that she had in fact been SA'd. Now, there's not really much validity with this. I want to know where XXL got that from, because they're reporting this, but at the same time, the police have not arrested anyone for such a crime. So you can see the media is already a little tilted against Ak, but that's neither here nor there. Since the alleged grape, Abashi refrained from commenting on the incident until December 30th, 2023. On that date, she claimed that she had seen Ak defame her on social media. According to Abash, the popular podcaster accused her of voluntarily having an orgy with his friends at his home while maintaining that he never participated at all. Angered by Akademiks' false statement about her, Abash released a video addressing this alleged involvement in her SA. Furthermore, Abash states in her documents that she has suffered significant physical and psychological pain, as well as dignity and invasion of her privacy following the alleged assault. Additionally, Abash claims that DJ Akademiks' false public statements about her are grounds for defamation. In her lawsuit, Abashi presented photographic evidence of her physical injuries, along with a screenshot obtained from surveillance footage capturing the purported SA. Now, here's another red flag. Where did we see more red flags like this? We saw red flags like this with the Keke Palmer situation. The Keke Palmer situation, which we found out was nonsense, because instead of entering video evidence to the court, she only entered screenshots, which don't really show you anything. It's just a picture. Now, on Tuesday, Akademiks addressed his legal case during the afternoon live stream. According to the 32-year-old, he had been clear of any wrongdoing by police. All right. Now, the victim and her attorney issued a statement regarding civil suit. In a statement to XXL, Abashi said, "I'm confident that justice will prevail and will be removed so no other women will have to endure what I did." Her attorney, Tyrone Blackburn, agreed, stating, "Litigation is always the last resort. After several unsuccessful attempts to resolve this case privately, Mrs. Abash was left with no choice but to file." Now, I want to stop right there. Let's figure out who this attorney, Mr. Blackburn, is, okay? Because that's key to this. Now, let's look at this article right here. All right? Let's look at this article right here. So this young lady's attorney, Mr. Tyrone Blackburn, let's check this out. Lawyer behind Diddy's SA case, criticized by judge over patterns of salacious case filings. All right, so this judge is known to file frivolous lawsuits against celebrities. All right, let's read a little bit of this article. We're not going to read the whole thing. All right. But apparently, this is the same attorney who's representing Little Rod in the SA case against Diddy. Now, it says an attorney who filed one of the several SA lawsuits against Sean Diddy Combs is now facing potential discipline himself after a federal judge in another case sharply criticized him for filing suits designed to garner media attention and embarrass defendants. Now, in an order Wednesday, April 3rd, in a separate lawsuit, Judge Denise Cote referred to Tyrone Blackburn to the Grievance Committee for New York's Federal Court District, an entity that decides where attorneys have violated court rules. She cited his conduct in 5 different lawsuits, saying Blackburn's filings in those cases had featured glaring deficiencies. Now, I'm gonna leave that right there. If you guys want to check out the article, I'll put it in the link below. But you guys, you guys get the point. You guys get the point. All right. So it appears as if this particular lawyer, who's now filed a lawsuit against DJ Akademiks, it's clear on what type of stuff this dude is on. He's basically running around New York City and New Jersey trying to put frivolous cases on whatever celeb he can in order to force a shakedown. Now, as the article said, Akademiks addressed this on a recent live stream. So real quick, we're going to play some of that, and then I'll give my overall opinion on the situation. All right? Let's get to it. All right, boom. Here we go.
Dude, I hope you guys keep up with the step-by-step of how this looks, because sometimes the headline and the accusation oftentimes makes a man, especially a black man, look guilty, and no matter what he does, even if he beats the shit, even if, by the way, there's nothing to beat because it's a civil thing, no one comes back around and says, damn, we actually fucked this nigga up and said all type of shit about him for no reason. So let's do a little timeline. I spoke about some, and I gotta be kind of vague. Again, my lawyers don't want me to speak at all, but I do want you to understand the gravity of what's going on. I spoke about this in January. No, in December. There was some, I can't talk about certain shit, but I spoke about it in January. I then got threats of a lawsuit because remember, the police wants nothing to do with this. They're saying there is no crime. The cops have said, peace. There ain't no crime that we could prove. That's what they've said. We're out of this. Okay. My lawyers have been ready for a possible lawsuit. We get it. We're in the time of the shakedown. Here's what's going to be interesting. And again, I'm going to be vague, but people in the chat, y'all be smart. Okay, I got to be vague for certain type of litigation reasons because I don't want when I meet with my lawyers, they say, why the fuck did you do this? I don't want them to play this stream clip, okay? Do you know who's the lawyer representing whoever against me? Y'all know?
Now, pay attention real quick. Now, he's going to get into some of the things I just brought up. Now, I brought up the lawyer's name because he's not suing me, so nothing can happen to me. Act's not going to bring up his name because he's not trying to, slip or trip his lawyers up in this particular case. But he's going to give you the rundown of why this particular lawyer, or why he thinks this particular lawyer, Mr. Tyrone Blackburn, has now filed suit against him.
Know the lawyer? Who y'all think that lawyer is? Could it be a lawyer that I've covered? Maybe with like about 3-4 Diddy cases? Maybe with the T.I. case? Could it be a lawyer that not so long ago I did a stream putting up on the screen saying that lawyer might be out here trying to shake people down for money? Could it be that lawyer that's represented in this case? I'm asking a question. Could it be that lawyer? I don't even want to open the article, but could it be that lawyer? Could it be that lawyer? Could it be, chat, that lawyer, if he was supposedly representing some individual that had whatever claims about me, could it be that I said, and this was public 6 months ago, And that lawyer did not file a lawsuit until yesterday. Let me tell you why. That lawyer, could it be, let me say, because now I gotta be very careful. Could it be, is it possible that that person who really seen the money grab was really the Diddy stuff, and who was the biggest nigga covering the Diddy stuff? Who would that be? So what I was doing, and I'm doing just regular journalism, and I'm not looking into it like that, but it's doing, allegedly, his bidding. So you claim you had a case against me for 6 months, never filed it. I'm covering another case that you also represent, so you hold off. You're like, let me not piss Ak off. Ak over here is pushing the Diddy train. He's making the wheels go in motion. Good. Okay. Could it be that after I did a stream, because I'm not paid by anybody, I don't hate Diddy, I don't have an agenda. My own agenda is to entertain fans, but
he'll get to the point eventually, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on. He'll get to the point.
Provide the truth as best as I can. About a month ago, could it be that Akademiks, while covering all these cases, finally said, this shit don't sound too right. Maybe this nigga is capping. Maybe he's just making shit up because he's seen some other nigga or another person do a settlement with Diddy. I started looking into many things. What did I start looking into? History is there to be seen, people. I started looking into the lawyer. Could it be? I don't know. And I have to speak this way because when you're living under threats of people who are trying to control media narratives as lawyers, I have to speak this way. Could it be that after I've covered Diddy's situation for 3 months, and on like the 4th month, I said, maybe this one guy who's saying this shit about Diddy is capping? Because look at his lawyer. Actually, let's look into the lawyer. Could it be that immediately the day after that, that lawyer allegedly reached out to some people of mine saying, if Ak continues to doubt what we are purporting against Diddy, remember, we could file a lawsuit on him too.
So, what the man is saying is that basically, Ak had been doing a lot of reporting on the Diddy cases and all the different lawsuits that's popping up. There's one case involving Little Rod that he was saying didn't say, and I believe it's Little Rod, I could be wrong, but I believe it's Little Rod, the Little Rod suit. And Ak basically was saying, well, some of this stuff don't sound right. And so he's saying that the day he said that, the next day this lawsuit was filed. Which, I mean, if the timelines add up, then, I mean, that's fishy. I mean, this same lawyer is already being penalized or being looked into by the state of New Jersey, I believe, or was it New York? Either one of them, for doing fishy stuff like this. But anyways, I'll let him finish complaining and then we'll move on.
Could that be? I'm just asking a question. I won't name no names. I'm asking a question. Could this be true? Could this be that I also, and by the way, y'all all know, let me tell you this about everybody in the industry. I'm going to tell y'all all this right now. If Ak ever goes down, y'all all go down with me. Because I hold no secrets for nobody. Could it be that the exact next day I get hit up by a private investigator that works for Diddy, alleging that maybe the same things has happened in 5 other instances? Could it be? Okay. Well, here's the thing. That case went dry. It went cold. We're now talking about Kendrick and Drake. Could it be that Akademiks is also now the main media source in between the 2 biggest rappers going at it? Could it be? Could it be that based on some of even the allegations being tossed around between two rappers, the Riddler and all these other things that people are thinking there's sexually deviant things at play, that it made sense to now officially file after 6 months or 5 and whatever months, it made sense to file just yesterday?
All right, and there we have it. If you guys want to see his whole stream, I can put that in the link below. He goes way into depth about it as much as he can. But we're not going to watch that whole video because we don't have that type of time. But like I said, there we have it. Once again, we have a lying-ass female who's teamed up with a conniving attorney trying to extort a successful man out of his money once again. Now, we see this time and time again, and honestly, does this play ever get old to you chicks? Does this play ever get old? I mean, I don't get it. We just seen a chick take a major L trying to scam that baseball player. I just did a story about him a week or two ago. We just seen her take a major L trying to scam the baseball player. I think she's facing like 16 years for fraud for lying on him in court. And like I always say, stuff like this ain't gonna stop unless women like this start facing more prosecutions for lying to the court. As it stands right now, in most jurisdictions, these women are filing BS civil suits, even though the police have already closed the case. And they're going to keep doing stuff like this because there is no recourse. There is no recourse for their actions. Now, as far as this particular case with DJ Akademiks, everybody knows this chick was a willing participant in whatever sexual acts went on that night. It's on camera, and all of the people involved have been cleared by the police of any wrongdoing. As far as the defamation of character goes, this is the part that's the most ridiculous to me. How you gonna sue this man for defending himself against your allegations? This is crazy. But anyways, we don't do believe all women over here. We don't do those hashtags. Over here, we are hashtag believe only solid evidence. So, what we got next here? Next topic. Okay, next topic. This is one of my favorite segments of the show. That's right. It's time for Get Your Kids Out of Public School. Now, tonight, this topic, along with the rest, will all tie into the same conversation. It's one that was started by a man named Thomas Sewell years ago, and is surprisingly starting to gain some steam again in 2024. What is that conversation exactly? It's basically identifying the actual problem that black people are facing in America. And that's this degenerate black subculture, and it's not necessarily racism. I'm gonna say that again. Our biggest problem is the degenerate black subculture and not necessarily racism. Okay? So what I need y'all to do is put your attention span caps on tight tonight, because this is going to be a deep conversation. This is going to be a deep conversation that you're going to have to look at objectively and not with your emotions. Now, tonight on Get Your Kids Out of Public School, I want to discuss this crazy video I saw earlier on Instagram of a father explaining why he jumped another parent at his kid's school. That's right. A father jumped another parent at his child's school. Now, listen to this nonsense. Shout out to my man Daryl Quick on Facebook. He says, good luck with that. He must be talking about the attention span part. Real quick, shout out to everybody on Twitter, man. I definitely appreciate the love on Twitter. We kind of deep on Twitter tonight. We could get deeper. Pause.
I got that thug in love.
But if you guys get a chance, if you're on Twitter, hit that retweet button for me. Hit that retweet button. Let's help get this video further off an algorithm. Also, if you're on YouTube or Facebook, let's do the same. But we deep on Twitter tonight, for sure. All right, let's get to this video. Oh man, the sound must be off.
To school, I'm sorry. I know that.
Let me start this over. The sound was off. All right, here we go.
Who had to watch me and my brothers jump her daddy after school? I'm sorry. I know that was probably a traumatizing experience for you. But we kept asking you to stop bullying my daughter and you wouldn't listen. We sent letters home. We even had a meeting with you and your parents and you wouldn't listen. So now you know your actions have consequences. And since you're too young to receive those consequences, you had to watch your daddy take those consequences. Get some therapy. You'll be all right. A lot of y'all keep asking why I didn't fight this man one-on-one and why I got my brothers to jump him in front of his 7-year-old daughter. And the answer is simple. Life is not fair. You get jumped by responsibilities every day. Bullying is not fair because you're picking on somebody that's essentially a weaker vessel and that's smaller than you. So I wanted to make sure she saw what it looked like when a fight is not fair and you don't have no choice but to let somebody jump you, so she could get the concept of what she was doing. Sometimes kids learn from what they see and not what they hear. So I wanted it to be a visual experience, okay? I'm out here doing the Lord's work, okay? God is pleased with me whether or not y'all are.
Okay. Okay. All right, man. So, did y'all hear this foolishness? Now, this is how you know our culture is completely jacked up. There are actually people who are divided on this topic. So, first off, I'm not sure if this actually happened or not, because he's definitely confessing to a felony. And if I was the other dad, this fool would be in jail ASAP. And that's if he got lucky. He'd be lucky to be in jail because I definitely exercise my Second Amendment rights. But yeah, he'd be in jail. You're gonna jump me and then got the nerve to brag about it on social media like you're the parent of the year. Yeah, okay. I tell you what. If he'd have jumped me like that, I'd have had them peoples at his door just like this.
Okay, Michael. Regular or extra crispy?
Would have been under arrest, just like that. Regular or extra crispy. And depending on how bad I got jumped, he might even get a visit from CPS. He might even get a visit from Child Protective Services because I'm that petty. Can you imagine another grown adult actually coming to jump you just because your child bullied another child? See, this is the type of crap that only happens at public schools, and 9 times out of 10, it's one of our schools. But this is the mentality of the black subculture that we're going to be highlighting tonight. Now, I know what y'all saying. I know what some of y'all are saying. What was he supposed to do if the other kid kept messing with his kid? Well, that's simple. If you tried to communicate it with the parents and nothing happens, then you go through the school. If the school isn't going to let the school shouldn't let that student continue to assault your kid or bully your kid on a daily basis if you report it properly. And even still, if that doesn't work, then you involve the police. But taking it upon yourself to jump another parent is beyond psycho. It's beyond psycho. And it's for that exact reason why I advise you guys to get your kids out of these environments if you can help it. See, the kids are off the chain in these schools because they come from households with parents like this dude. This is why the schools are off the chain. Now, public schools are definitely a huge issue in this culture that needs to be addressed. But it appears as if the same foolishness is going on at HBCUs as well. It appears as if the same foolishness is going on. That's right. What some would consider the top HBCU in the country, unfortunately had some of the most ghetto crap to go down at a graduation this past week. So apparently some disgruntled graduation attendees incited a riot at Howard University School of Nursing graduation ceremony. Check this out. Let me see, give me 1 second to find this damn video. All right, hold on. Here we go.
We've got a little bit of an emergency going on, y'all.
A celebration years in the making for these Howard University students coming to an abrupt ending Thursday as these graduates waited to walk across the stage at the Crampton Auditorium. Just outside of the lobby, dozens of loved ones locked out and some trying to push their way in after being told the building was at capacity.
Because of the size of the room and because our relatives sometimes do not know how to act, the fire department is now here to shut us down.
Administrators doing their best to let the grads get their special moment and grab their diplomas before they cleared the room, but the damage was done.
Like while they were doing the keynote speaker, there was like loud banging. Even before that, for like 10 minutes straight, just like boom, 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 boom.
After this commotion, pictures showed the broken glass door left behind.
It's sad right now, low-key.
Oh, yeah.
It's sad.
I'm just heartbroken.
And dreams shattered for grads like Holly Ragunanan and her family, looking to make up for moments missed during the pandemic.
Glass started getting broken. One of my classmates' hands got cut. I didn't even get to walk. I graduated magna cum laude and I didn't even get to walk. I'm in class 2020. I didn't get to walk for my high school graduation. I didn't get to walk for my college graduation.
It's not just the grads who left the canceled commencement disappointed.
All the money we spent, my father and grandmother came down from North Carolina.
And while these grads tried to salvage the celebration, not long after, DC Fire sang in a statement. DC Fire and EMS did not shut down tonight's event. At 6:42 p.m., we responded to the Crampton Auditorium for a medical call at the request of campus police.
Wow, so they called Howard University lying. They called what we called Howard University lying. DCFD said, nah, that's cap, bro. That's cap. We didn't shut down nothing, according to the official statement. Wow, okay.
The patient was evaluated and refused transport, and DC Fire and EMS departed.
I'm confused why it got so crazy, how it got so quick, so bad, so fast.
And some of these graduates will get to walk this weekend. The university's main commencement ceremony is set for Saturday morning. At Howard University, Walter Morris, News 4.
Now, moments ago, Howard University responded to our request for a statement. The school said security removed someone from the building prior to the ceremony. That person returned and broke a window. The statement goes on to say this incident led to a disturbance among guests outside the facility, resulting in a disruption of the program. Guests in attendance were immediately dispersed following this incident. Howard says EMS treated one student for a cut. The school plans to give individual awards to students.
All right, now, I believe we got video of some of the quote-unquote riot. We'll get to that real quick. We'll get to the video of the riot. And I got this other one I want to show you too. All right, now check this out.
show the video. We are at capacity.
Bro, let us stand up, man. Nobody want to hear all that capacity stuff, man. People drove here from long places to come here. Ain't nobody care about no. Look, that's y'all problem.
I mean, now, I understand where the university is coming from. They had a disturbance. Someone broke a window. Now, I wasn't there, and I'm trying to put this together. So what it appears as if there was a disturbance at the graduation. Some crazy person broke a window, so they had to shut things off for a second, and people couldn't just go in the graduation. So the people who couldn't just go in the graduation seem to have gotten upset and started yelling, "Let us in," I think. I mean, it's unclear, but either way, people, we gotta start having some type of reasonable activity. You have to be understanding to certain things. If there's an emergency situation going on, you can't just let a whole crowd of people in while it's going on. You can't do that. And if that's what's going on here, that's a shame. That's a shame. And I think that the security guard's trying to tell them the fire department's here at this time. They're dealing with an emergency situation. The people don't care. They're still begging, "Let us in, let us in." No type of compassion for the emergency situation that's going on. None. Okay, now they're saying they're at capacity. They had capacity. Should have got there on time. Should have got there on time. It is what. That's why anytime I go somewhere, especially a graduation at a huge college, if I really want to see the graduation, I'm gonna be there early. But this is what happens. When you're a part of our culture and you don't get things like that. Not everybody. Let me play this last little video associated with this fiasco. This right here is crazy too. Let's go.
As these graduates waited to walk across the stage at the Crampton Auditorium, just outside of the lobby, dozens of loved ones locked out, and some trying to push their way in after being told the building was at capacity.
You're not gonna take my special woman away from me. As soon as they told us that we couldn't walk, I said, "You's a damn lie." I'm gonna find my way across the stage. And for the people that, I'm not even mad at the people that's outside banging on the walls, because if my grandma had to walk all the way from Willicoochee, Georgia to get to the door, for you to tell her no, and she had to go watch me on the Zoom call, hell, I'd be mad too. And look, as soon as they say, "Everybody, you need to go home, it's over with," I got in a 3-point stance. And I'm gonna get across the stage. It sound like a machine gun coming across that stage. I'm a big dude, so it sound like. Look, I said, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right. You mean I studied all these years, wrote all these papers for you to tell me no? I drink a pricey pint of penguin piss before you patronize my privileged progression. Yeah, I learned that in school. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is us. I swear, the news just knows how to pick them, don't they? The news knows how to pick them. Now, out of all the college graduates they could have interviewed, this was the one they chose. This was the one that they chose. Now, honestly, I can't blame them. I can't blame them because they're here for ratings. But this just goes to show you the mentality of some of our people. even the ones in our most prestigious universities, attention is the number one drug of all time, man. Attention is the number one drug of all time. This man totally embarrassed his entire graduation class for 15 seconds of fame. I mean, I can't lie. It's funny. It's definitely funny. But ultimately, can you blame other ethnicities for not taking us seriously at this point? I'm going to play this back one more time. Bro. This is what this dude had to say on his graduation day.
Look, I said, hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right. You mean I studied all these years, wrote all these papers for you to tell me no? I'll drink a pricey pint of penguin piss before you patronize my privileged progression. Yeah, I learned that at school. Yeah.
Okay, hold up. Somebody said, okay, Ronald, hey, shout out to Big Hurt Washington. What's up, bro? So you're saying that this guy is a comedian? He's not an actual student at Howard? He's a comedian? Because I'm not sure. I mean, that doesn't look like Howard University at all. That looks like some warehouse in Pittsburgh somewhere. But according to the news, this is real. According to the news, look, I'm gonna play out the rest of the clip. According to the news, this is real.
I honestly do feel really bad for them.
Jeez. I know.
We've got.
So yeah, I don't know, man. So if this guy's a comedian, fine. I can't fault the Howard students for this. I can't. But I didn't know that was a comedian. I'm gonna have to double check that. But if he's actually a comedian, then I'm gonna have to take back some of my criticism. I don't take back the criticism for the attendees trying to bust down the door. Okay, all right. He's saying that's his saying. Hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right. Okay. All right. Does he actually go to Howard though? It's all good. It's all good. All right, we're gonna move on to the next topic anyway. Now, this next video, I ran across this a few days ago. It's a couple of months old, but apparently it's crushing the YouTube algorithm right now, and I want to discuss it tonight. Now, the young lady in this video is coming to grips with the reality that black culture as we know it today is a serious problem. And that's right in line with the discussion that we're gonna have tonight. All right, now the name of this next video I'm gonna play is titled, Black American Culture is Dying, Ghetto Blacks Are to Blame. Now, I want to be clear here. I am not here to demean my own ethnic group. We're here to have a conversation about being better because we are at last place and everything in America. The way that we're operating right now, we cannot continue that. We can whine about who got us there all day, but we have to look in the mirror and correct what we're doing wrong. With that being said, I want to say this young lady is spot on with her observation, okay? She's going to be spot on, but let me get to it. I'm talking too much. Let's get to the video, and I'll let you guys be the judge.
As these graduates waited to walk across the stage at the Crampton Auditorium.
My bad. All right, here we go. Let's get to this video.
Here is my little 2 cents that nobody asked for. I am sick of seeing Black Americans in the media, on social media, in the news, doing crime.
Shout out to Daryl Quick. He says the Indians might be in last place. Proceed. I mean, possibly. You mean Native Americans? Possibly, yeah. But I mean, okay, fine. Technically, they're in last place. I'll give you that.
walking around next to naked, the women, the men perpetuating gang violence, substance abuse. The absolute worst of our community is oversaturating the media, even though they make up a small percentage of all of Black Americans. The decay of our morality within Black communities has been slowly declining over the past 20 years, and no one is talking about it, no one is saying anything about it or trying to address it. And if you do, you are often told that you're policing Black bodies. If you say Black women, stop getting on the internet and in the media, twerking, walking around with little clothes on. People tell you that you're policing bodies, policing Black bodies, or it's respectability politics. If you are Black and you speak your piece on what we're seeing in the media, if you don't like seeing the low morality that is often portrayed about the Black community in the media, from the trap music to the Black women twerking in music videos and all over social media, the Suki Hanas and the Sexy Reds of the world, if you are Black and you take issue with it and you talk about it, you are usually called bourgeois, sedity, uppity, it's respectability politics, you're policing Black bodies and the like. And it's like, no, I'm Black too. And as such, this being my ethnic culture as well, I have a right to have something to say about what I'm seeing going on. Your average Black American is a middle class, working class, blue collar Jane and Joe. The ghetto subculture, Black ghetto subculture that we see often portrayed and over inundated and oversaturating the media, those Black Americans make up a tiny percentage of Black Americans as a whole. But somehow they're in the media, overcompensating in the media, oversaturating the media. I know I don't just speak for myself when I say that I'm sick of seeing it, that it's gross, that it is destroying what Black culture actually is. It's co-opting Black culture as a whole and making it seem as though all of Black culture is ghetto subculture. I'm not the only Black American who takes issue with it. Because like I said, majority of Black America is middle class, not in the ghettos, not out here.
Hold up real quick. Hey, shout out to my man Kurt Keys, man. This guy never ceases to criticize me for picking Drake in the Kendrick. Bro, this is a rap beef. Both of these people work for the same people, bro. You're not going to sit up here and you know where the link is, so you can always click in and join the conversation. But both of those rappers work for the same record company. So if we're going to have an argument about two guys, let me get this off. If we're going to have an argument about two guys who work for the same record company, let's not bring all that other shit into that particular conversation unless we're just going to condemn them both for what they're doing. If we're not going to condemn them both, then it's just like talking about sports. But at the conclusion of this dissertation, I want you to be the first one to call in and let's talk about it. We should have been had this argument live on screen anyway. So let's do it tonight. Give me about another 15, 20 minutes so I can wrap up my little monologue and then let's do it. All right, back to the regularly scheduled program.
Perpetuating gang violence, promiscuity, and everything else. And I don't care if you claim...
At Kurt, there's no number, bro. There's a link in the description. There's a link in the description of the Facebook video. There is a link in the description of the YouTube video. And there is a link in the title of the Twitter video. So, yes, sir. Call in. Yeah. What you say? You about to get you a smoke? Get you a smoke and call on in, bro. Let's do it. All right, here we go.
It's respectability politics. I guess so. So be it. Because this is gross. It's getting really gross out here. How blatantly disrespectful and low class we're acting on social media and in the media, on the internet, on TV. And you can claim that this is someone else's set of moral standards, but no, it isn't. It isn't. Look at Black America in the 50s, in the 60s. Our moral standards back then, drastically different from what we have today, or what we're convincing ourselves is a moral standard today. Every racial group on the face of the planet has their own ghetto subculture within their respective racial and ethnic groups. This is the case for everybody, everywhere. White people, Asian people, Mexican people, you name it. The difference is that those racial groups and those ethnic groups do not allow their ghetto subculture to co-opt the entire culture as a whole and to represent the entire culture as a whole. They don't allow it. Everybody else within that respective ethnic group or cultural group or racial group has a right to say how they want to see themselves represented in the media, what they want to see and what they don't want to see, who gets to speak for them and who does not. Except for when you're a Black American and you have something to say about the way that you see Black Americans being portrayed in the media and you have a critique for your peers.
All right, I'm gonna stop her right there. I'm gonna put the link to this video in the description also. So if you guys want to go back and check it out, it'll be there for you. Okay, but like I said earlier, she is spot on with her observation. She's spot on. But the bigger issue here, there's a bigger issue here. The bigger issue is, why is this happening? Now, my particular view will probably shock most people because it's a conversation that usually only gets talked about off camera and behind closed doors. Now, get my full screen up. All right, now, I'm gonna sort of walk on eggshells here because YouTube ain't playing no games. I'm monetized and I want my money. But hopefully you can pick up what I'm putting down.
I got that
Pause. Now, contrary to popular belief, there are two groups of people that appear to be of the same race who have been in a cold war with each other for centuries. Okay? There are two groups of people who appear to be of the same race who have been in a cold war with each other for centuries. Hope you're getting it. These two groups practice two different religions and to some degree have two different ideologies on how society should be ran as a whole. One group particularly backs capitalism, and the other group backs Marxism, communism, or socialism. I'm gonna say that one more time. One group backs capitalism, and the other group backs communism, Marxism, and socialism. Now, in the midst of this Cold War, Black Americans have become pawns in this game, and this shit started around the late 50s to early 60s. But what do I mean by pawns? I mean that we're being used to kill two birds with one stone. We're being used to discredit one of those other groups, and in addition, we're also being used to culturally destroy America and ultimately the West as a whole. Now, this particular group has pretty much infiltrated every aspect of Black culture. Now, quick disclaimer, when I speak on either one of these groups, I'm not referring to every member or even most members of that particular group. I'm talking about the top 1%. Now, as I was saying, this particular group has pretty much infiltrated every aspect of Black culture, and if you dig deep enough, you find the common denominator with all the key players. Now, let's first look at Black American culture. Prior to the Civil Rights Movement, Black Americans were married at like 85%, which was the highest percentage in the country at the time, above all groups. Most Black children, even from slavery, were brought up in two-parent homes for the most part, and our percentage of crime pretty much matched our percentage of the population. In fact, the overwhelming majority of the crime committed in the country was done by Italian, Irish, and Jewish-ish mobs. Now, I'm not saying Blacks were walking around like angels because that certainly wasn't the case. However, we certainly didn't account for 50% of the crime as we do today. So, what happened? How did we get like this? Long story short, it's when we adopted the victimhood mentality that was initiated in the civil rights movement. That same civil rights movement that was heavily influenced by Marxists. If you don't know what a Marxist is, look him up. If you don't know who Karl Marx is, look him up. Look them up. It was the Marxists that were surrounding Martin Luther King and a lot of these other civil rights activists that sent us on this dangerous path of perpetual victimhood. Think about it. We went from literally operating our own towns and businesses and school districts to begging to be able to patronize other people's. This mentality was ass backwards, especially in a capitalist system such as America. We went from owning our shit to begging the government for our most basic needs. No other group in America has taken this route, and this is why no other group is in the position that we're currently in. Here's a name that you might want to look up. Stanley Levinson. Stanley Levinson. Stanley Levinson is the man who pretty much gave Dr. King the blueprint for his whole entire operation. So this is what we're going to do real quick. We're going to look up some quick facts about Stanley Levinson. Now we're going to his Wikipedia page. Don't judge me for that, but this shit's true. All right. All right, let me get this page up for you so you can see that. All right. Let's read about Stanley Levinson. Stanley Levinson was an American businessman and lawyer who became a lifelong activist in socialist causes. He is best known as an advisor and close friend of Martin Luther King Jr., for whom he helped write speeches, raise funds, and organize events. Levinson was born in New York City on May 2nd, 1912, to a Jewish family. Levinson attended the University of Michigan, Columbia University, and the New School for Social Research. He received 2 law degrees from St. John's University while serving as treasurer for the American Jewish Congress in Manhattan. He aided in the defense of Julius and Ethel Rosenberg. During this period, he worked for a variety of leftist causes. Civil rights movement. Levinson was instrumental in all activities of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. Okay, now, this goes to the credibility. Okay, Dr. King is a Christian man. He's promoting Christianity. He's a reverend. He's working through the church. Why is someone of a whole other religion, how do they have their hands completely in his whole operation? And why? Why? Why is he operating the Southern Christian Leadership Conference? I don't know, man. I'm not a genius. But you would think a Christian would be running the Christian Leadership Conference. I don't know. Anyway. Y'all go back and read that shit for yourselves. It describes him as a lifelong socialist, which is nothing but another term for communist or Marxist. This is the man that mapped the civil rights movement. This was Martin Luther King's closest advisor. And see, This is what a lot of people don't understand about the FBI and why they were so interested in Dr. King. Note, nobody went after Elijah Muhammad or tried to smoke him or Farrakhan. Why? Because they were not dealing with communists. See, the FBI didn't give a damn about Dr. King fighting for the black folks' rights. They don't care about that. They were following him because he was palling around with known communists. These people have taken an oath to destroy capitalism, and Dr. King was doing their dirty work. Now, I don't know if he was aware of it or not. I'm not saying that he was aware of it, but in all actuality, he was doing their dirty work. He was a pawn. And it's on record, they warned Dr. King several times to get the hell away from communists. But he didn't listen. Now, I'm not justifying for any reason why Dr. King was killed. That's not what I'm here to do. But when you playing them types of games and you letting them people use you as a pawn, you put yourself in the crosshairs. And I know this sounds wild, but if you do your research, you'll see that this rabbit hole runs deep. Pause.
I got that thug in love.
This rabbit hole runs deep. Now, we're going to fast forward just a little bit to the Black Power movement of the 1970s. Now, what group comes to mind when we're talking about the 1970s and Black Power? That's right, the Black Panthers. Another black activist group infested with Marxist influencers who were not black, and here you have it once again, another black group openly siding with enemies of the United States and expecting to have a positive outcome. Let's take note of a man named Eric Mann, okay? Eric Mann. Now, who is Eric Mann? Let's get to Eric Mann real quick. Kirk Keys, I got you in the back room. As soon as I'm done the monologue, I'll let you in, and when we can have the discussion, you can give your 2 cents, whatever. We don't have to argue, because I'm pretty sure we're on the same page, but I know you want to talk a little shit about Drake with me, so we'll do that as soon as I'm done the monologue, because I'm almost done, and then, we'll get to it. And if anybody else wants to join, hit that link. We already got Kirk Keys in the back room, so this is going to be a good discussion. Pause. My man Daryl Quick says the back room.
I got that thug in love.
Oh no, there's a man down.
All right. Now, okay, let's get to Eric Mann. Where's the Wikipedia page for Eric Mann? All right, Eric Mann. Eric Mann. Who is Eric Mann? Eric Mann, born December 4th, 1942, a civil rights, anti-war, labor, and environmental organizer whose career spans more than 50 years. He's worked with the Congress of Racial Equality, Newark Community Union Project, Students for a Democratic Society, the Black Panther Party, the United Automobile Workers, and the New Directions Movement. He was also a leader of the SDS faction, the Weathermen, which later became the militant left-wing organization Weatherground. He was arrested in September 1969 for participation in a direct action against the Harvard Center for International Affairs, and he was sentenced to 2 years in prison on charges of conspiracy to commit murder after 2 bullets were fired through a window of the Cambridge Police Headquarters in November 8th, 1969. I'm going to stop right there. Let's get to his upbringing. Eric Mann was born in Brooklyn, New York, into a Jewish home rooted in what he described as anti-fascist, working class, pro-union, pro-Negro, internationalist, and socialist traditions. But do you see this? Do you see this here? He was arrested in September 1965 for participation in, basically a crazy left-wing militant group. Are y'all following me? Are y'all following me? Now, Eric Mann is also directly responsible for another interesting group of black activists who openly promote communism. Who could they be? Let's see. Let's roll the videotape. Let's see. Damn it. Give me 1 second. Yeah, we're going to get to the bottom of this nonsense, man. All right. Check this out.
He was concerned, or is concerned, that that there's a lack of perhaps ideological direction in Black Lives Matter that would allow it to be to fizzle out, as he said, in comparison to Occupy Wall Street. As you are advanced in your own organization, as you all are headed to Cleveland to participate in this Black Lives Movement conference, how do you respond to that particular critique? Again, a loving critique from an elder of the struggle that some others share, that I've even shared as well, to be frank, as a concern about, in part because of the co-optation and the appropriation, that a more clear ideological structuring might be of some value here. But how do you respond to those kinds of, again, loving criticisms?
I think that
Now, for those of you who don't know, this is Patrisse Cullors, the former chairman of Black Lives Matter. Okay, listen to what she's going to say.
criticism is helpful. I also think that it might, I think of a lot of things. The first thing I think is that we actually do have an ideological frame. Myself and Alicia in particular are trained organizers. We are trained Marxists.
I'm going to play that back one more time for you.
Are trained Marxists. We are...
I meant to go back a little more.
Myself and Alicia in particular are trained organizers. We are trained Marxists. We are super versed on sort of ideological theories.
Okay.
Do you have any insight into why?
So, I mean, there we have it. She is a confessed trained Marxist. Now, who trained her to be a Marxist? Well, let's get to that. All right. So, Black Lives Matter co-founder describes herself as a trained Marxist. Black Lives Matter co-founder Patrisse Cullors said in a newly surfaced video from 2015 that she and her fellow organizers are trained Marxists, making it clear their movement's ideological foundation, according to a report. Cullors, 36, was a protege of Eric Mann, former agitator of the Weather Underground domestic terror organization, and spent years absorbing the Marxist-Leninist ideology that shaped their worldview. I'll post the link to this article in the description later. All right, there's no need to even go any further. There's no need to go any further because we see what time it is. And to go back to the Black Panthers, you know why the Black Panthers, just like Martin Luther King, were wiretapped and followed by the FBI? Because they were talking about communism. And they were palling around with people like this. If it was just about black folks becoming better citizens and improving economically and getting our due respect, that would have been one thing, which I personally, when looking back on things, don't think the government gave a damn about. But when you start talking about socialism and communist, and then you're palling around with people who do this, who have underground organizations who are actively trying to overthrow things, you're going to catch some trouble. But somehow, some way, these are the people that we're told were our heroes. Now, granted, they might have thought they were doing the right thing. They might have had bad information. So I'm not here to dog these people out. But what I'm telling you is that they were on the wrong side of shit. Straight up. And it all bit them in the ass. Because they were used as pawns and ended up getting killed and martyred behind it. So, man, wake up, man. Now, we're running a little long time, and I want to get to Kirk Keys. So, real quick, I'm gonna give you some names to look up so that you can do some further research. I had a whole presentation ready to talk about the rest of these jokers, but we don't have that much time. So, these particular names are names of other Marxists who had heavy influence on black activism in the 60s and the 70s, and also present day. Number one, of course, being George Soros. Duh. You also want to look up a man named Saul Alinsky. You also want to look up a man named Ralph Abernathy. And the last two, and certainly the least, you want to look up Richard Cloward and Francis Piven. These two people are known as the mother and father of the modern day welfare system. You want to look up what's called the Cloward-Piven strategy. Cloward, C-L-O-W-A-R-D, Piven, P-I-V-E-N. The Cloward-Piven strategy. These were the people who helped you adopt the victim mentality that is so prevalent today, and also the communist ideology that we've accepted as our crutch when it comes to our culture, which is welfare. Now, to wrap this up, I'd like to note that in addition to researching who was instrumental in influencing black activism in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and of the present day, you should also look up who's at the top of hip hop culture. Let's take a company like Universal Music Group, the one that me and Kirk are probably about to talk about. Who's the CEO? Do you find it odd that Drake and Kendrick Lamar had a week-long beef where everybody was tapped in to see what's going to happen next? Record-breaking streams and numbers. And guess who got paid from both sides? Everyone wants to talk about the big numbers that Kendrick Lamar got during this week. Guess who really got paid? See, everything you think you know about being a black American is fraudulent. You don't control this culture. This culture controls you and uses you as a pawn in a war you probably had no idea even existed. But what do I know? Look, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go to a brief commercial break. We're going to come back in. We're going to dial Kirk Keys in. And if anybody else wants to join the party, if you're on Facebook, look in the description of this video and hit that link. If you're on YouTube, look in the description of this video and hit that link. Also, I think I'm going to drop something in the YouTube chat. If you're on Twitter, look in the title of this video and hit that link. It'll automatically bring you over to StreamYard and you'll be locked in. All right, so on that note, give me 2 minutes and we will be back.
Violent crime is surging in Louisiana. Woke leaders blame the police. I blame the criminals. A mom should not have to look over her shoulder when she's pumping gas. I voted against the early release of violent criminals, and I opposed defunding the police. Look, if you hate cops just because they're cops, the next time you get in trouble, call a crackhead. I'm John Kennedy, and I approve this message.
You know I'm really on fire. Popping up the grease and I'm pepper veins. Hey, DJ, money back up. Cause amigo, she don't know how to act up. Asian, white, Latino, and black up. It's only one, even doing this track. Hey, DJ, money back up. Cause amigo, she don't know how to act up. Asian, white, Latino, and black up. It's only one, even doing this track.
All right. We're back. All right, hold on. Let me get Kirk Keys up here. Give me a second.
Tested all that too.
All right, boom.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
What's up, my good man? How are you?
Chilling. I'm assuming you don't want to be on camera?
Nope.
Okay, yeah, that's fine, bro.
What's up, though? Yeah, that monologue was excellent, bro. You broke that down so perfectly.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it, man.
Beautifully
I figured you would agree with what I had to say, but I know the Drake shit is. I know we got to talk about that too.
Because I don't understand how you can say all of that and understand all of that you know, and then still turn around and say that. I get that they work for the same people. You know, I know that, and I understand that breakdown too. But it still don't mean why you working for them niggas. You can't tell the culture and wake them up about what the fuck you working for. And he's definitely doing that too while breaking Drake ass down. And you just don't like that because you light skinned. And it don't got shit to do with being light skinned either, for the record.
I'm not a Kendrick dude like that. I mean, I do think he's a great artist, but I mean, Kendrick is a little too far left for me, especially when the whole Auntie's Diary song. I'm not rocking with that.
Bro, that's one song on a whole catalog of music.
I'm more of a Drake dude. Like, I'm more of a Drake dude. Like, I want to fly around.
But you can't just sit and say you're a Drake fan, and because you're a Drake fan, you're siding with him when he didn't make better music in a diss. You can at least admit that he lost the diss, and you just like his music better. That's absolutely fine. Nobody's arguing with that. Hold on. Okay with that, but that's not what you're saying. That's not what you're representing right now. You're saying this man beat him in a battle that he didn't win at, and it's clear that
when it comes to the music that was put out in that battle, okay, I personally like Drake music better. The only reason that people are so hype off Kendrick is because, number one, the whole daughter line, that put a whole lot of energy into that weak ass Family Matters. That was a weak song to me.
Bro, and that's where Drake fans are so hurt.
Honestly, I really don't care. But
nah, you're hurt because for you to even use that when really people who are listening, as Kendrick fans, I am an admitted Kendrick fan, but I like them both. I want to be clear though. I did like Drake too. I don't dislike Drake. There's no Drake music that comes out and I'm like, oh, that was trash or anything like that. He makes good music. I'm gonna give a fair opinion. When Family Matters came out, I said, oh shit, I think Kendrick might be down. I literally text my man when I was in the chat with talking about this, and I said the only way Kendrick can really win this is if he don't let this shit sit tonight. Like, we can't all sit and digest both of these songs, because he also came out with that Buried Alive interlude joint on his IG too. Right. He dropped both of those, and I said we cannot digest with both of those for a whole 24 hours, and he still win this battle. and he literally dropped both of those songs that night, and that shit switched. Oh, well, he dropped one song that night and the next song the next day, and that literally shifted everything back into his direction. And it's not about the daughter line. I said all that to say you're harping on the daughter line, and it's like, yeah, okay, that was cool that he unveiled that, but that wasn't even the biggest deal about the whole shit. That wasn't even what made it like hit like that. If the daughter line was a lie, okay, we can move on.
I'll say this then. So I can be honest, right? I think strategically, Kendrick Lamar dropped strategically, right? And
strategy matters in a battle.
Right.
Let's not act like that didn't count.
But here's the thing. Now,
he said he was going on vacation. He thought he could go rest. And he couldn't go rest.
Hold on. His strategy, though, right? His strategy was, in my opinion, a little dirty. Because, I mean, he bought race. He made it about race. We can't deny that. He made it about race.
No, he made it about culture.
But you can't just.
He made it about culture.
If Drake's uncle played the guitar for Al Green, you can't exit Drake out of the conversation.
It's not saying that he's not a part of our culture. It's to say he didn't come up in our culture. We talking about one person. He can't live off his uncle's reputation. He can't live off his uncle's reputation, bro. But we want to live off his uncle's reputation. Let's live off his mother's reputation.
But he still spent a good amount of time with his father every year.
Bro, listen to what I'm saying.
So if that's the case, you can say the same thing.
We have an interview with him and Rosenberg, two Jewish people who are talking and saying how this has never been done before. This black and Jewish man together, that's going to be so dope, and it's going to be so unstoppable and all this and that. And that's literally what it turned out to be. And it's not to say that couldn't be what it was. It's just if it was what it was and he stayed true to himself and who he was from jump, it will be a different conversation than if he didn't turn into this so-called like goon who always sending out threats, causing all this dysfunction in the game. Like,
I mean, I don't know how you can paint that brush on Drake when Kendrick literally sided with Future and Metro Boomin, who make.
Kendrick didn't side with them. Kendrick has been beefing with Drake for a decade, and they just.
What I'm saying is, here's why I can't get down with your virtue signaling of Kendrick Lamar, right? Only because you do make good points about the culture and some of the things that Drake has done, but you can't then say Kendrick's better when he decided to come out with this diss on Future and Metro Boomin's album, which is filled with fuck shit.
I don't think that matters. That's exactly what Pimpin' a Butterfly is.
Hold on. You called Drake out for allegedly being a sex offender, but on your last album, you had a convicted sex offender all over your album. Kodak Black, a convicted sex offender.
Let's argue. He got pardoned.
I don't know if he got pardoned.
He also convicted, but he got pardoned.
I don't know. We need to fact check whether he got pardoned for the sex offense because he got locked up.
That's a fact. He might not have. So, but peep though, my point is, it's not to say that anything is right or wrong on it. I'm looking at this video. I'm thinking you're not done talking. I forgot. So it's not to say whether he's right or wrong on that. What it is you can also be forgiven. He's a convicted sex offender. He's done what he did. He served his time. All right, cool. We're talking about somebody who's sneaking around and pushing culture as a sex offender. It's two complete different things.
I like how you did that, but
I know you can always get away with this when you're on the right side. When you're on the good side, bro, you can justify every bro. He served his time. He did what he did. We know he's a sex offender, and he's moving accordingly. And hold on, because I can bring it even. I can make it even better for you, bro. I only brought it halfway. It gets even better. The whole that was a pause moment. But my point is the whole point of that album, that Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, was to talk about healing, facing the shit that you've been through, facing the shit that you've done. And it's also about global consciousness. That's why the album had Kodak all the way through it. It also had Eckhart Tolle, who was the author of Power of Now and the author of A New Earth. And it talks about global consciousness, and it talks about, for one, how you take aware of your consciousness and the shit that you do, and how to keep away from doing fuck shit and making better decisions and things like that. And that's what the Power of Now is about. And then the New Earth is about when collectively we all recognize that and start to move better and move different, then who knows what this world could turn into. Because when 51% 51% of global society knows something, then you start to do something about it. Because if you knew better, you do better. And so 51% of society got to know how these niggas are really moving and how all of that shit you just explained, you know better, so you doing better. You got this podcast and you sharing information. So Kendrick is just doing his role and sharing information and doing better. And you sitting here going against them when you got a whole nigga out here pushing fuck shit, and you don't like the fuck shit that's being pushed in the culture of music, and that's what he's doing, and you sided with him. Don't cut me off now because you recognize what's going on. I'm literally tying your whole narrative that you just put together to the whole Kendrick album that you just talked about, how he had a sex offender on it, but that's also a known sex offender, so it's global consciousness. But niggas don't know about this other shit that's going on in the background. And Akademiks is breaking all that shit down week by week. New shit by new shit is coming out where y'all talking about Kendrick fed a whole bunch of lies and he actually didn't. It just ain't all out yet. And that's why even in the song, he said your embassy gonna get raided too. Like, just wait and see what's gonna happen, because shit is still playing out. It's all a matter of time now to really see who even had the better disc. And the longer this song push, because it's about to be festival season, it's about to be party season, and he made party songs. The longer this song push and he pushing that narrative, and everybody pointed at Drake because the music is talking about Drake, and this shit keeps coming out, bro. You think it's not going to like change culture? This shit just literally shifted culture, and he played his role in it the same way you are by just telling everybody that monologue you just told.
Okay, so
you mad at that nigga?
Here's the difference between what I just did. Here's the difference between what I just did and what Kendrick didn't do. Right? Kendrick is still unapologetically left leaning. I wouldn't be surprised if he endorsed Joe Biden. I wouldn't be surprised. Right?
Kendrick has never endorsed any politician. How you going to all of a sudden?
If Kendrick Lamar would have said or even alluded to what I just said in that monologue, he'll be toast. That's the difference. That's the difference.
If he did what?
If Kendrick Lamar would have even alluded to the things that I just alluded to in this monologue, he'd be toast.
He alluded to what? He's alluded to them album after album after album.
But it ain't just that. It ain't just them, right? It ain't just a particular.
Nah, my nigga, you're absolutely wrong on that.
Hold on.
The whole Pete.
Hear me out.
Go ahead, talk.
If you don't acknowledge the fact that our culture has been steered all the way in the wrong direction.
What was the concept of damn? In 10 words or less, what was the concept of damn?
So let me answer this question real quick, because I can't kick 3 field goals at once. I
only need 1 field goal. What was the concept of damn?
I don't even know the concept of damn.
Exactly, but you telling me with a nigga message what he pushes versus what
Hold on though.
You crazy. You just said you don't listen.
I see Kendrick Lamar doing songs and supporting other artists that don't go down that route. I'm not gonna sit up here and let him say Drake is this and Drake is that when you're literally doing music and supporting other artists who are worse than Drake. At least Drake tells the truth about his life. He meets girls, he spends money, and he travels around the world. He's not telling people he's some big time gangster who shoots people in the middle of the street. He's not telling people I do drugs that I don't do, like Future. He's not telling people I'm a big time drug dealer, like
Drake definitely has shooting lyrics.
Hold on. But come on, bro. That's not real. He's just he's alluding to something more fun party style. He's not literally saying
Norman. Drake definitely the same thing you just said Future is doing is what Drake is doing.
Hold on, but Rick Ross literally lies every time he talks.
So they all do. So let's not act like Drake don't do that.
Let's not act like Drake is the worst guy in the room.
We're not. I'm not.
All right, but look, you know what? I get what you're saying. You know
Rick
what I mean?
Ross said, pop the Molly all in their champagne. She ain't even know it. Took her home and enjoyed that. She ain't even know it. He got in trouble for it. Let's not act like that. We're not acting like that. You're acting like he's the best guy in the room, and he's not.
I didn't say he was the best. The best guy in the room is clearly J. Cole.
Okay, and I'm not even going to argue with you on that. But the second best in the room is definitely Kendrick, and you trying to omit that part. And that's where you tripping.
Okay, all right, fine. You know what? Morally, Kendrick might be the second best guy in the room.
All right, then. At least let's go there. Now that you can at least admit that,
I can admit
let's
that.
go to where some more lies are.
Hold on.
Went down and made a whole video. Nah, don't hold me on because you done talking now. You went down and made a whole video about Dave Free. You did stop. You said you was done, so I'm talking now about how I'm about to just play with you now for a second. Pause again. This is literally fun. I miss doing it. I miss this, bro. I miss this time. So listen, you literally made a video of how Kendrick girl ain't following him on social media. He following Dave Free, put a heart under their message or some shit like that. Bruh, Dave Free and Kendrick are partners on PG Lang. The shit that they made separate of all this fuck shit that you talking about under all these industries and all of that. PG Lang stands for fucking program language. They are trying to change the language, change the mindsets, change the understandings of people's mentality, literally with their music. Is what he's been doing since day one. And you just don't like his music, so you don't even know what he's talking about. What I asked you when I asked what was the concept of damn is literally simply, is it wickedness or weakness? And it's asking about the exact people that you just talked about, the exact culture that you're talking about, everything that we do, all of this fuck shit that we can't seem to get together is literally asking, is it wickedness or weakness? Are we cursed with this shit? Is it a curse? Is it something that we literally are under because of the laws and shit that we broke back in the day that you don't even believe might be true? Or is it weakness and we just choosing choice by choice by choice? We just can't make the stronger decision to do better and get above this because we understand that we under it, and we can literally get above it at this point because now that we know what they do to us and now that they know with the position that we in, we can literally do something about it, and people are choosing not to. They choosing to go on the other side. That's what this whole album was about. You actually like it if you listen to it, but you don't want to hear the shit, and so you're arguing against the nigga that's literally trying to put music and vibrations and frequencies into the culture to help you prove your point.
Okay, so
that's why I tell you hustling backwards. Every day that you say this shit, you're hustling backwards. You're letting the nigga who's making the party culture be all fun and not focused, rather than the nigga who's trying to get these niggas focused.
I mean,
so while he's actually winning,
I'm not saying that
it's insane and strategically. He's winning in every category, musically, strategically, and historically. And because he ain't sell more and he ain't make you dance more, which he said in the music, you ain't trying to hear the shit.
So
you're crazy, my nigga.
So I'm gonna say this, and then I have another question for you. Right? I'm gonna give my rebuttal. I will say, okay, Kirk, you could definitely be right about this. At the end of the day, hold on. I just prefer to hear Drake's music more. It just sounds.
And you can say that and still say he lost, because that's the truth.
Hold on, you just did a whole Cohen Cosby.
That's all I wanted to say. Keep talking. You can still say he lost.
But no, I ain't gonna say that. But not at least not on live. Look, I look at this like a football game. You know, it is what it is. The Redskins suck.
Yeah, you got fans, and you go cheer for the losers. I see you do it historically.
So
do I.
I don't take this shit that seriously.
And that's literally what we doing. That's why they both playing for the same company, and they both getting paid off this shit. And that's why I will admittedly say that with you. I've never argued against that. I'm just saying you sound stupid to argue against the nigga who is at least calling the niggas out on their money instead of just supporting their money.
I don't know.
Like, have you heard the song?
I don't see the call
real
out.
Quick question for you.
I don't see the call out.
I got a question for you. Have you heard the song? Oh, you said you ain't hear the call out. I'm about to fuck you up again on the next song. Play whatever gay shit you want to play real quick, so we can get to the next point.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll play it. All right, bet. So, the call out. Have you heard the song that Rick Ross said was a cease and desist on French Montana joint?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that joint has Drake lyrics. It's talking all about how he calls him and Lucien, the executive, he calls them Kobe and Shaq on that song. I really believe that's why the cease and desist went out, because he's like, you're not about to keep dropping my names on songs like this, acting like we super partners. Yeah, we are, but you can't talk about this publicly like this. I believe that's why the cease and desist actually happened. Rick Ross talking about you hated on my dog project. Nah, but it might have been just to direct people to that song, so you might have found it and heard them lyrics. That's number one. Number two, Lucien Grange being the executive who runs shit, when you really listen to Pimp a Butterfly, another Kendrick album, that shit talks about how he had survivor's guilt from telling all of these historic stories. The Good Kid, Mad City story is basically like a Boys in the Hood movie, and he's telling his whole come up from his neighborhood and his friends' stories too.
I like that album, actually.
Yeah, but peep, so he's telling that. And telling that the To Pimp a Butterfly album was about, I told that story and now I made these millions and I'm on in this industry, but I have survivor's guilt because I made it out But now I need to go back and tell my people what's really going on, because now that I see what's really going on with this devil shit, he said the Eve was loose, he was all around me. I want to go back and let people know. And then going back and let people know, how did I like get this message out? And that whole poem ended on the last song. It was called Mortal Man. And Mortal Man is talking about when shit hits the fan, are you still a fan? And he's talking about, when I take on this whole industry, all these people you said you needed, Michael Jackson, MLK, Malcolm X, all these people who sold out, all these people who were with you and trying to send you out a message and let you know shit, but they had to like go and tie with these people who got this money and who actually are evil, but they might not know that they're evil, number one. And number two, if they do, then they just literally working with them to get that mass message out the same way Kendrick is. But once you get that mass message out, are you going to follow? Are you going to believe in it? Are you going to be against me and argue against me and argue me down? And so he ends that song too with the whole full poem, and the full poem goes into a fucking Tupac interview, and Tupac explains how, and it's really crazy because it's a Tupac AI interview because it's after he died, obviously, but it explains how the evil, or not the evil, how, yeah, actually the evil is going to get so gluttonous and so fat because they're just eating and eating and eating that the people's society and all of that are going to swallow them up. And they're going to end up taking them over and like really winning, because they're going to be tired of starving, because they see these people so fat and eating off of them while they starving, that they're going to be mad and rally back and be a revolution and have a revolution. And so he's through all of these albums, he's go from telling how the Good Kid, Mad City story, to telling the survivor's guilt story, to then saying, all right, now is it wickedness or weakness? Are we fucked up, or are we like cursed? And then he's telling, all right, it's global consciousness. We really got to just all know what the fuck is going on. We got to know these Jewish people who are stealing our whole culture, who are robbing us of our culture and all of this, and realize that once they're doing it, all right, right now, while they're committing a whole whatever word you want to call it, exercise, they got motherfucking international crimes and court crimes and all of them trying to come down on them, and they like, nah, don't do that, we're gonna push a button even harder, you know what I'm saying? So like, they're literally threatening the society right now with this next war and all of that. And so when you understand that you got global consciousness, they can actually fight against it, because people also try and fight against it too. We don't have to just succumb to all of this evil, but both sides are not with us, and we are pawns in both of their schemes, and that's what we do got to understand. But what I feel like is, I would rather fight with them other people who enslaved us physically and we ain't know their systems and cultures and all of that, versus these people who are doing it mentally right now, and we succumbing to them because we don't even know what's going on mentally with all of that. We're actually like literally like deaf, dumb, and blind, just moving along with the game. But those other people, because of what they did for us for so long, we think we can't battle against them. But now that we actually know their language, we know their customs, we know how to read, we know all of that, we just need to teach ourselves and teach our culture and take our culture back over, segregate back from this, be real with you, and understand what's really going on, teach each other what's really going on, and then go back and combat them, because they still will go ahead and go with these votes and shit like that. Like, they believe in that. Like, these other people, they like, nah, we gonna rob you of of your votes, we gonna rob you of all of that, believe it or not. Like, they both try to do that, just in different ways, but we know them systems and culture and customs and shit now, long story short. But he's sending all these narratives out through these albums, bro. And now he's just playing out the next point in that album by taking Drake on, which he's been beefing with him for a whole decade. People just didn't know that, but he's been saying it throughout this whole narrative. So real fans, bro, knew this was coming, knew what was going on, knew what was happening.
I'll be fair. I'll go back, because I didn't realize that Kendrick Lamar had his own Bible worth of fucking albums. So I'll go back and give it a listen, man. It's kind of hard to argue with everything you just said, because I can't prove or deny it. So I have to go back and listen.
It's law.
You know, if it checks out, then I will be the first to admit, hey, man, he's not a bad guy.
Yeah, I feel you, my guy. But like I said, Dave Free and Kendrick are friends. They still hang tight. They not even beefing. All that BS you done went and butchered up to try and find to support Drake. You look crazy. You should delete that. I'm gonna leave it. Your role, I get it. You just being you know what the difference. You was being a CNN analyst. If you want to know what you were literally doing, you want to know how you looked in that, you were being a CNN analyst.
Hold up, though.
You were just doing your job.
Let me say this. Here's the difference between me and most people that's on the internet. I'm not even that famous, so whatever. But if I ever get that famous, I'm not going to delete anything I said unless it was just so crazy that we losing money. But if I was wrong about something, one day I'm not too big or too big headed to be like, yeah, okay, I was wrong. You got me. So fucking what?
You already know when I said delete that, I knew you weren't gonna do it. I just mean like that's how crazy you sounded though.
It's a decision I made, and I'm gonna stick with it.
I fuck with you, bro.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, if it turns around and it's like some big thing, some big story comes out, like, yada, I'm like, damn, well, yeah, I mean, I was wrong. Fine, let's move on. I still talk about way more important things. So if we want to spend all day talking about Drake and how everyone's right about Drake, fine. But I also have said this, and that. So, you know, if you want to judge me based on my opinion about some rappers beefing, cool. But I've said a whole lot of other things that are relevant.
I feel you. I think just alone your monologue that you gave prior to me giving you this dissertation of Kendrick albums was important enough that it like wipes out all the BS that you've been talking the last week about Drake for real. The fact that you even know that other side, because you sound so dumb all this week. That I'm just proud that you could even express yourself in such a way. So like, honestly, I fuck with you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that opening. It was perfect for everything I wanted to say.
I mean, look, I know you're busy. It's baseball season. You know what I'm saying? I know you out here teaching the kids the white man's game. But
hey, that was the only game that actually had black owners and black everything prior to this Big Three. So while they try to say Big Three was the first black owned anything, just know you playing, because Negro Leagues was also black owned for the record. So yeah, stop playing with us.
Listen.
That was a good joke though. That was a real good joke.
I just had to throw one little jab at you. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, look, we got to do this more often, man.
For sure, bro. For sure. I'm gonna holler at you. We going to get together because I gotta start doing this more too. We got a lot to talk about selection season.
For sure. But yeah, hey, listen. Hey, look, I don't really have anything else. Plus, I got to get my black ass up and go to work in the morning. So
me neither, my guy.
If you ain't got nothing else, let's take him to church. That's it.
Hey, Cookie, more pecani sauce. Yeah. This ain't paste pecani sauce. What's the difference? Cookie, paste pecani sauce is made in San Antonio with fresh vegetables and spices by people who know what pecani sauce is supposed to taste like.
This stuff's made in New York City?
New York City?
Get a rope.
Pick up the original pecani sauce. Pick up the pace.
It doesn't matter what comes, Fresco's better in life. With Mentos fresh and full of life. Nothing gets to you, staying fresh, staying cool. With Mentos fresh and full of life. Fresco's better, Mentos fresh and Fresco's better with Mentos fresh and full of life.
Mentos, the fresh maker.
It doesn't matter what comes, Fresco's better in life. With Mentos fresh and full of life. Nothing gets to you, staying fresh, staying cool. With Mentos fresh and full of life. Fresco's better, Mentos fresh and Fresco's better with Mentos fresh and full of life.
Mentos, the fresh maker.
Yeah, yeah, my son so dumb, my son so dumb. Yeah, yeah, yeah. My son so dumb, IQ 21. He tried to make friends, but they call him Ching Chong. He eat the wonton, but he fat like Kim Jong. He's so ugly when he smile, he look like the King Kong. My son useless, can't play ping pong. He tried to get a date with the girl Soo Young, but she said hell no, cause he not that handsome. And my son so broke, can't buy the dim sum. Yeah, 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 yeah. My son so dumb, my son so dumb. Yeah, yeah, yeah. My son is so dumb, yeah. He texts Mingly, but she picked me. Too bad he broke, can't buy the milk tea. If he talk back to me, then he get his ass beat. Cause if you try me, then I do the Tai Chi. Just listen to your mommy and go eat the kimchi. Or I sell your kidney for $2.50. Do not think I forgot you got being Chinese. Ancestor look down on you, go say sorry. Yeah, 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 yeah. My son so dumb, my son so dumb. Yeah, yeah, yeah. My son is so dumb, yeah. My son so dumb, IQ 21. He tried to make friends, but they call him